Namaste, viewers. So, I was doing some research and observing some or analyzing some data the other day in terms of how dharmic content is being consumed by genders across India. Of course, it had a little bit of my data also, in the sense of my channel's data also, but my channel's data is very minuscule as compared to the amount of dharmic content which is already making the rounds. So I was observing data and I found out that in terms of that there is no gender parity as far as dharmic content being consumed. I observed that in fact the male audience is far more than the female audience as far as consumption of this content is concerned. As compared to lifestyle content, entertainment content, there is a good number of gender parity that we see. uh, this is across the channels, like for example Instagram channels or YouTube channel or Facebook channel or Twitter is minuscule in the sense because the Twitter audience in India is very small. So doing an analytics on that is a little more difficult, but the data that is available, or rather the platforms that are more popular than Twitter, are these, and there is absolutely no gender parity as far as traditional dharmic content is concerned. That's what we observed. So I and my team were observing this. This also got me thinking in terms of how traditional spiritual formats have been perceived. By and large, you will see that the spirituality as such, the Hindu spirituality, traditional Hindu spirituality, doesn't have too many women aspirants. Now, there could be many reasons for this. But as opposed to that, if you look at uh, neo formats, which means neo paganism, uh, newer religious or newer spirituality, neo spirituality, newer formats of spirituality, which are more democratic in nature, which are more open in terms of its offering and services to the person who is initiated or practicing in it, you will see larger number of women followers there. But in traditional formats, say for example mantra or homa or any kind of traditional formats where there are religious frameworks in it, you'll find a large number of women missing out from that. Bhakti, on the other hand, you will see a lot of devoted women or women devotees or women practicing various kind of vratas and parayans and all that. You will see a lot of that happening. But in mainstream traditional formats, you may have followers, but there are not too many women who come across and take the mantle of being a sadhika or being somebody who is doing a rigorous practice, or taking leadership in those kind of formats. And why this is so is because I feel that there is a lack of a conducive ecosystem for women. Women have today broken the glass ceilings in the boardroom. They are traversing space, all of that. But traditional religious formats, religious disciplines are yet not opened out to women. This is the notion, perhaps, because I have taken diksha in a very religious traditional format, okay, in Shaivachar. And I have seen myself that absolutely no doors were shut for me. In fact, all the doors were opened with the grace of my guru. So, are there enough women even going to sampradayas? Are they even accessing these? Now, here, to a large extent, I can say that there is a lack of awareness, and to a large extent, there is a lack of will. And I am going to address the second point here, and I feel that that needs to be addressed here more, because this is the conditioning over the ages that has happened to women, where safe havens have not been given. Women have been stopped at every point of their uh, spiritual lives, or every point of their journeys, where they even embarked upon something and they had to stop. And when they had to stop, then they have at times cowed down, or they have rebelled. So this is what has happened. And I think that here we have, now that when modernization has happened, when a lot of things are now being accessible to women, uh, women will need to shed that inhibition. Women will need to shed those conditionings. Women will need, and there will have to be family members, friends, and a proper ecosystem that needs to help these women grow spiritually. Like there are ecosystem which is being available to her, accessible to her, in terms of education, in terms of business, in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of professional life, in terms of all of these things. Of course, there are challenges in even these roles for women today, despite the world has turned a new leaf. But she has now a support system. Okay. And I want to render my um, guidance to these women as much as I know, and as much as I can. If there are women who want to come across and seek guidance in traditional spiritual formats, how much ever I know, I will render my help to them. And I will, along with a few people, would urge and appeal to come together to start building an ecosystem for spiritual growth of women as well. Women are fantastic in terms of their spiritual prowess. They have an inherent shakti in them, they have an inherent intuition in them, they have inherent powers in them, which, if honed well, they can be very quick and agile in their, and fast in their spiritual progress. I've seen that, not just about myself, but about a lot of other women who have picked up spiritual disciplines. And if we give them the access to a conducive ecosystem for them to grow in traditional spiritual formats, you will see a lot more sadhikas taking up leadership and mainstream roles in Indian dharmic fabric. I can promise you of that. So, on the occasion of Women's Day, I I promise myself, and I promise to all the women who can reach out to me, that whatever possible help you require, as much as I know, as much as I can, I will try and help you out. In fact, I am doing in an all women DIY Homa, do it yourself Homa workshop, um, in the next couple of days. And I am looking forward to meeting all these women aspirants. And I'm promising them that they will embark upon a fantastic journey uh, through Ganesha. So, This is my message to them. So thank you very much, and please come forward. Please shed your inhibitions. You have done it across all the challenges. You are doing it. You are evolving. Come forward now, and don't get uh, bogged down by whatever people say. Don't get bogged down by trads who would troll you. Don't get bogged down by uh, any kind of spiritual restrictions that people claim to have, uh, and they think that they are the authorities on religion. Don't get bogged down by that. You have not cowed down. You have come out of the most difficult situations, so you can do it here as well. Today you have the power of technology with you. You have the power of modernity with you, modern thinking with you. You have the power of everything in you. So, and the world is opening up. So kindly come forward, even in terms of religious disciplines, and create an ecosystem with me. Om Namah Shivaya.